Hello, hello, hello. Hi, 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 hi. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hi, hi. Look, I cut my nails, Finally cut my nails. These things are long, bro. They were long. They're not long anymore. No, they're not long anymore. They're not long anymore. Because I cut them. Well, the downside to cutting your nails is you can't make the tapping sounds aren't as good. That's the downside. But yeah, couldn't be hard getting super nails. It's not I mean, I do have a nail brush. You can always brush your nails, clean them out. But yeah, I'm not trying to be that guy with long nails. How are you? Are you good? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing fantastic. Super good. My mom said something to me this morning that made me have a realization. She was talking about the fact that I cut off my beard, and she was like, at least now certain girls won't be looking at you a certain way. And she was referring to older women because my beard made me look older than I actually am. So I realized maybe that's why in the past I've had an issue with attracting older women, because pretty much every girl I've ever had a sort of romantic situation with, they've all been older than me. And I've always wondered, why is that the crowd I keep attracting? Especially like when I had the beard. I've had the beard for a long time. And that might have been, people assume I'm older than I actually am. To be fair, I've always had that issue. I remember talking to a girl years ago. I was a teenager back then, so I didn't have a beard. And I remember telling her my age, and her face just fell. She looked disappointed. I think she had thought that I'm like older than I was, because I think she was out of high school. She might have been in university or something. And I think she realized, oh, he's a teenager. Anyway, yesterday I was talking about these poets, namely Rupi Kaur and Amanda Gorman. And I was having a thought. Amanda Gorman, we found out that she's an activist, she's this, she's that. But I was also thinking about, regardless of politics and all these sort of things, it's important to be grateful that you have people who are doing well in the space of poetry in this modern age. Because if you look at the top 10 list, Rupi Kaur and Amanda Gorman are the only two people who have written anything and been successful at this level in the 21st century. Rupi Kaur and Amanda Gorman are the only, or at least according to this list, are the only poets who've sold more than 1 million copies in the 21st century. So you have to be grateful, man, because what that does is it keeps the torch burning, and it makes it easier for other poets to flourish. We see it. We see success, and we know that it's possible. And the audience is being primed. The audience is going to become hungry for more. And they're establishing infrastructure within the space as well, because I'm sure they're doing book tours and communicating with these audiences and having events like where they're reading and like reading their poetry and stuff like that. Like they're keeping the industry of poetry alive. So it's very important to be grateful, even though I'm not a fan of the whole racial oppression dynamic and the whole spiel. I think a lot of the times it's just a big hustle. It's a big cash grab. People can believe it. Maybe Amanda Gorman is an activist for real, for real. These days, that word activist, what does it really mean? A lot of these people, the luxury activists, it's like they tweet and they might attend a rally here and there, but they're not really activists like we've known activists in the past. So sometimes I feel like it's a cash grab. But that being said, I don't know Amanda Gorman. Even if I disagree with her politics, I think I am grateful for the work she's doing to maintain this space for people like me to then come through and find my own success. And it's not a fixed pie. It's not like her success limits my own or something like that. It's a wonderful thing because she can become successful and then I can become equally or more successful. It's all about just keeping those doors open for people to come in and do their thing. You don't want to be the first. Obviously, these girls aren't the first poets, but like in the 21st century, they are the biggest ones doing the most damage. Damage meaning like impact. I don't mean in a bad way. I'm just using that term colloquially. Like they're making waves. So you don't want to be that person because it's harder for those people. It's harder for the pioneers. It's harder for the people that are innovating because it's kind of unfamiliar territory. So you always got to give thanks, man. You always got to give thanks and be grateful and be humble. So I was just thinking about that. But Rupi Kaur is doing very well. Amanda Gorman's like number 80 something. Last I checked. Let me check again. I checked just now. Where is she? Number 79. No, she's not doing okay. She's doing very well, but Oh snap, Megan Fox. Megan Fox, the actress. She's got a poetry anthology here. It doesn't seem like it's doing too well though. I heard people weren't too excited about that. Anyway, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Who wrote that? Anonymous. Imagine an anonymous work. Who gets to make money off of an anonymous work? I wonder. There's this a story called the Epic of Gilgamesh, and I've heard of it, but apparently the author is anonymous. So I'm like, who makes money off of that? Who gets the rights to that? I don't know. Anyway, as I was saying, Amanda Gorman is like number 79, but Rupi Kaur is doing a lot better. She's like, wow. Her position on the charts keeps shifting. So number 18 and 19 are two of her books, The Sun and Her Flowers and Milk and Honey. So Milk and Honey was number 18 just now when I last checked, but now it's number 19, so they keep swapping positions, I've noticed. Milk and Honey, this is a paperback edition, which is impressive. Paperback. It means people are buying the physical, so there's a demand for that. And it's got 62,666 reviews, so jeez Louise. A lot of people bought that book. That's just reviews, so you don't know the actual sales. sales are probably higher because you know what percentage of people actually go out of their way to leave a review. Who knows? And then The Sun and Her Flowers, which is the Kindle edition, got 23,217 reviews. Number 16, In Poetry We Say, ellipsis, by Whitney Hansen, has 6 reviews. How does that work? How many sales do you have to get? Because how are you number 16 with 6 reviews? Because in my mind, I'm like, I understand that some of these books have been out a long time, but is the sales drop off so steep that a book with 6 reviews can surpass your book with 23,217 reviews? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works. I wish we could get like in music. In music, you get like very extensive breakdowns of how an artist is doing. Even in YouTube, the views and stuff. Like you can, there are websites that tell you exactly how well that creator is doing and their views and their subscribers and stuff like that. And it breaks down the very small details for you. And in music, you can learn the sales, the first week sales, the second week sales, the third week sales, so on and so forth of an artist. And a lot of this information is very public. At the end of every year, a lot of musical artists release their Spotify data, and they tell you, it shows you how many hours they were being listened to, how many listeners they have around the world, stuff like that, you know, how many new listeners they got that year compared to the previous year. But with this, you're not getting anything. You're not getting any real data. That needs to change. They need to, and I think the same is true for other genres as well. I don't think it's just poetry. They need to give us more data, just so we can really map out this realm and you know what it looks like, and we can get realistic expectations of what success looks like in this field. It would be nice if they provided that data. No reason for that to be a secret. But yeah, Rupi Kaur is doing very well. It's nice the thought of like, you know, book tour, you know, like you write this book and you go to different places, you meet the people who are reading these things, and you can read, they get to hear you read it, and then you get to have discussion. Oh, that's nice. The idea of having discussions about your work, because you know, I actually attended a reading of an author's book. I don't know if it was a poetry book or I don't know what it was, but it was at this bookstore, and she had a Q&A afterwards, and I actually embarrassed myself because I was asking too many questions and people were getting frustrated with me. But stuff like that is dope because you get to engage with the people that are consuming your art, you know? That's fun. It sounds like a lot of fun. I'd love to do a book tour. That'd be so fun, dude. Getting to see different places, meeting different people. Fun. I hope they're doing that. Rupi Kaur book tour. Let me Google. I'm sure she's done it. Yep. She's got a website, Rupi Kaur World Tour. Damn. She's pretty. 2022, she had a crazy tour. She was all over the place. Oh man. She was in Europe. She was everywhere. She was in North America, South America. She went to Sao Paulo. She went to New Zealand and Australia. She went to Singapore. Fire. That is fire. Oh man. Says here she also makes music. I hope it wasn't like I hope it wasn't like a music tour. Not because I don't want her to make music. It'd be nice if this was like a poetry book tour. Like that would be crazy. That would be insane. It's just like for her book, and she's talking about her book. That would be fine. Let me click on one of them and see. Nope. What does she do in these tours? Because it doesn't really say what she'll be what she was doing. Let me go to her YouTube. Maybe you can get a sense of what was happening. Okay, there's a trailer for Rupi Kaur live, so let's see what that's about. I'll try to put the volume low so it doesn't disturb.
Unison. Sound doctor? Yo, sound doctor.
These ads,
That
man.
shit fire, bro.
Let's go melodies, psychedelic.
I want to apologize to all the women I've called pretty before I've called them intelligent or brave.
Ugh.
Because I don't think you're pretty, but because I realize that you are so much more than that.
Okay, we get I think it's a book tour. I think it's a oh yeah. To be fair, I actually wrote a poem about that. I don't know if you heard that, but she's basically saying, "Oh, I apologize to all the women I've called pretty before I called you intelligent and da 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 da. Not because I don't think you're pretty, but because I think you're so much more than that." Which I agree to an extent. I just don't think it's something to apologize for. Feminism is funny to me. But anyway, it looks like she's had a very extensive tour. She's had wow. How many dates did she have in North America? Let me see, because it started in May 2nd, 2022. So this is just North America, May 2nd, 2022, and went all the way to January 25, 2023. So about 7 months in North America, and then Europe September 12, 2022 to October 27th, 2022, and then South America February 24th, and so there's just one date in South America, and then Oceania, which is like New Zealand and Australia. She went from March 23 to April 1st, so she did like about 8 days in Australia and New Zealand, and then Asia, she was in Singapore up until April 4th. So impressive. That's nice. I really, like I said, infrastructure is being built here. It's like an industry is being built, and it's very encouraging to see. And it allows people to dream. It allows people like me to dream, and we get to have a reference for our dreams, and we get to see that it's possible. And sometimes it's like you need to see certain things to get ideas, because sometimes if you don't even have the reference, you don't even think that big, you don't think very far. But when you see people doing stuff like this, you can get your own ideas and start to really think about, oh, maybe this is possible, maybe this is possible, maybe, you know, it allows people to really, really, really think ahead and dream. So, like I said, it's important to be grateful. But back to what you were saying about how being pretty is not the most important thing. Like I said, I wrote a poem about that, and I actually read of Shakespeare's Sonnet 1, which talked about this, and that was what inspired me to write my poem. So I'll read Shakespeare's Sonnet 1. I had to read like a translation because it is old English, and you know it can be hard to understand. So you get the general sense, but it's nice to have translations because they really break it down. So I'll read the original poem, and then I'll read the translation. From fairest creatures we desire increase, that thereby beauty's rose might never die. But as the riper should by time decrease, his tender air might bear his memory. But thou, contracted to thine own bright eyes, feedest thy lightest flame with self-substantial fuel, making a famine where abundance lies. Thyself thy foe, to thy sweet self too cruel. Thou that art now the world's fresh ornament, and only heralds to the gaudy spring, within thine own bud bearest thy content, and tender churl makest waste in niggarding. Pity the world, or else this glutton be, to eat the world's due by the grave in thee. So some of you might be like, what the hell was that? What is he saying? No worries, I will translate for you. So it says here, we want all beautiful creatures to reproduce themselves so that beauty's flower will not die out. But as an old man dies in time, he leaves a young heir to carry on his memory. But you, concerned only with your own beautiful eyes, feed the bright light of life with self-regarding fuel, making beauty shallow by your preoccupation with your looks. In this you are your own enemy, being cruel to yourself. You, who are the world's most beautiful ornaments and the chief messenger of spring, are burying your gifts within yourself. And, dear selfish one, because you decline to reproduce, you are actually wasting that beauty. Take pity on the world, or else be the glutton who devours with the grave what belongs to the world. Deep. This is profound. There's a lot going on here. But basically it's talking about vanity and you know, regarding yourself merely in the physical and not really cherishing the more eternal parts of yourself, and robbing the world of that beauty. And it talks about reproduction, and that can be viewed in multiple ways, whether it's giving birth to children, or even like giving back to your community, and being a positive influence and stuff like that. But it's deep. There's a lot going on here. Anyway, I was inspired by that. And I wanted to write my own version of it with my own flair. This is more so, I guess, in the romantic context. More pointedly so in the romantic context. I'm saying this within the context of a relationship. So it's called Hey Beautiful, and I'll just read it. Well, disclaimer, I'm not no Shakespeare, so you know, clearly I'm saying I'm not no Shakespeare. That's a grammatically incorrect sentence. So, you know, manage expectations. But anyway, hey beautiful, although you know you're pretty, perhaps there's much of which you're unaware. If you look into the mirror and simply see a face, I hope you know your beauty isn't there. It isn't in the softness of your eyes. It isn't in the smoothness of your skin, or the brightness of your smile. Death inherits these as you journey to the grave. Your beauty lies in what it cannot take. You make me laugh. You make me think. You make me feel. You're tender when I'm hurting. When I'm warring, you're my shield. The contents of your soul, therein lies your true appeal. Your youth will fall away. I'm in love with what's revealed. So basically, that's like it's playing on the similar theme of some people who might look in the mirror and see their face. They might see the physical, and attribute good looks to that, but the real beauty lies beyond that. I said, you make me laugh, you make me think, you make me feel. You're tender when I'm hurting, when I'm warring, you're my shield. The contents of your soul, therein lies your true appeal. Your youth will fall away. I'm in love with what's revealed. So, your youth falls away. All the things that you might be valuing at the time, all the material things. I say here, death inherits these. So, with time, you're going to age. You're steadily progressing towards the grave, and you're going to lose a lot of these things that you might be placing a lot of value in. And when you don't have your looks, what do you have left? That's what's really important, and that's what you should fall in love with when you're looking for a partner. The things that death can't take away, that time can't take away. So yeah, it's the same concept, sort of. Obviously, Shakespeare's poem was more robust, and it covered a wider range of topics. And mine was more pointed and within the specific context of like a relationship. But yeah, that ties into what Rupi Kaur was talking about. I think hers is more from like the feminist lens of like, I guess women are being oppressed. Like the patriarchy has, just placed the value of women in their looks and all and whatever else. I don't know. It sounded like that was the framing there, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But there's truth to that, though. There's truth to this notion that people are very vain and materialistic, and we should place the value of individuals beyond just their looks and stuff like that, because people are more than that. So there's plenty of truth to that concept. So yeah, I wish she'd done a tour vlog or something. I love watching like tour vlogs. It's always fascinating. Maybe if I'm ever blessed to have a tour, I'll film it. Maybe it's a lot of work to film stuff, and you'll be out in public, always carrying camera around filming. You just want to be present. So I understand why some people don't film it sometimes. Oh yeah, man. How many dates did she have? Let's count them. I'll do ear to ear while I'm counting. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 67, 68. 68 dates. I might have miscounted, because I was scrolling pretty fast. But, wow. She went, like, this was a real, well, it was a decent world tour. She covered most content. Africa always gets skipped over. you can come to South Africa. South Africa is pretty dope. There are a few places in South Africa you can actually go. I mean, in the African continent, you can go that would be nice, and you don't have to worry about anything. And yeah, but anyway, she went around the globe, and she had 68 dates. It was dope. Very encouraging stuff. So shout out to the people like her who are keeping the flame burning, like I said. Yeah, you don't have to agree with someone's politics to be grateful to them, to acknowledge the good things they're doing. Yeah, credit. I'm big on the concept of giving credit where credit is due. It's very important. For example, LeBron James, excellent basketball player. There are many people like myself who might not agree with his politics. He's a very pro-black activist, Black Lives Matter, yada, yada, all this stuff. But then those people will then say he's not a good basketball player because they don't agree with his politics, which is ridiculous. They'll even say he's like not top 5 of all time, which is, yeah, that's just, you're just being a hater at that point. Like, you don't have to agree with his politics to give him his credit. So with Rupi Kaur, I have my criticisms of her actual poetry. Yesterday we went over some of it. It's Insta poetry, It's not the most profound stuff out there, but what I do appreciate is the success she's had, and she's clearly a hard worker, and she's keeping the industry of poetry going. Her and people like Amanda Gorman, and there are other people as well. This seems like a very female-dominated space. A lot of women I'm noticing on these charts. So I'm just grateful for all of them who are successful, and yeah, keeping the seat warm. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me pray and get out of here. I like to pray at the end of my videos. Dear Father God, thank you for this individual watching this for now. Thank you for making them whole, unique, and guiding them on a path towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person, wonderful people in the life. Will love them, take care of them, bring the best out of them. Thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with the spirit of gratitude so they can give thanks for wonderful things in life. And by giving thanks, they can find peace, contentment, and attract even more blessings. Let your presence be felt in this person's life so they know that you're God, that you're real, that you love them, you're always going to be there for them. Good health, long life, and happiness for this person and everyone they care about. In your mighty name I pray. In Jesus' name I pray. In Jesus' name I pray. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. 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 Amen.